I was just digging more into the statistics. Apparently, like 1.5 million car crashes involve deer every year.
Jesus.
Yeah. Fuck you, Bambi.
Yeah.
I'm glad your mom died. Hello, everyone. Mom, basically, right? Like, that's the only person that's going to be listening.
My mom's not watching this or listening to this. But, I mean...
That's true. I think my mom, every time we went to go film, she said, "Good luck, you're never going to make it." So, she might not watch this either. Or listen to this. There's no watching involved, is there?
No.
No. Not yet, anyway. Once I got a webcam that does better than 720p, y'all better fucking look out. Alright, so welcome to Film Thopology, the only podcast that talks about film history and how we... Is it the only one? I haven't found any other ones.
I'm going to say it is until proven otherwise.
You know what? I like that. The only podcast that talks about film history, period. No, so today we're going to be talking about Bambi. I'm going to tell all of you about Bambi and the history behind it and how it caused an insane repopulation of deer.
Have you actually had a incident with a deer on the road?
I have, actually.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, my first car accident, if you want to call it that, I was coming home at night, hit a deer, and as they usually do, ran off.
Man, my story was so frustrating.
What happened?
I was in North Carolina, driving at night on a garbage road, and I saw the deer. Like, I anticipated the deer and everything, and I swerved off the road to not hit it, and it rammed its head right into my car. Like, I did everything in my power. I definitely endangered my life. Swerved off the road. And even though I swerved off the road, it still managed, and it's sad. It bummed me out so much. The deer just, like, used its head and clipped the side of my car, and then, like, died. And I was just so... I did everything I could here. Like...
I shouldn't laugh.
I know, it's like...
The death of the deer is not what's funny.
Yeah.
It's the fact that the deer persevered toward its own death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would argue that the deer was suicidal.
That, honestly, I felt that way.
It forced you to assist in its suicide.
I was trying so hard. Ugh. No one on the road, run off the road, and it clipped my headlight. And just was... I was like, well, I tried. I didn't feel that guilty because I literally, like, endangered myself to protect that deer's life.
Yeah, right. Because isn't that the deal? Like, if you hadn't tried at all, then I would understand feeling guilty.
Yeah.
Like me, I didn't try at all. I
just accepted your fate. It's like, this is happening.
Yeah. Well, like, that's what they... The fucked up part is that's what they tell you in driver's ed. If a deer runs out in front of you, don't do anything. Literally just keep going.
Yeah.
Because it basically assume that it's a you or the deer situation.
Yeah.
Which
that makes sense.
That's not always the case. Because, I mean...
It was just such a vacant road, and, like, the side of the road wasn't, like, super dangerous. I wasn't driving super fast. Like, super duper fast, where it was, like, incredibly dangerous to go on the side of the road. But, yeah. Didn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I mean, the deer is...
That deer was determined.
Just Can't hack it anymore, man.
Dear seppuku.
Dear. You have dishonored yourself.
Yeah, I feel like I could create a whole little story about like the history of that deer and like what caused it to dishonor its family and commit
Yeah,
deer
right.
seppuku that night, that fateful night.
No, so like apparently adult deer like stags, they just don't hang out with their family ever again. Like they have the baby and they
Oh,
just like roam around. I think that's the case.
wow.
Yeah, I know. It's super fun. So like that's the deal. Throughout Bambi, we don't even get like confirmation that like this king of the forest, this stag is Bambi's dad. It just like it's always watching like fucking Batman from a hilltop or some shit throughout the movie. Which so that's another thing that's you know what? We'll save it. We'll save it. Let's get into it.
Okay.
I have complaints. So just a little backstory. Deer population was really high before let's say 1492, which fairly significant year
Oh,
for America.
do tell more.
Um,
What's significant about that year?
so in 1492, Columbus was a piece of shit.
Are you sure?
uh,
I'm pretty sure he like discovered this land or something like that, right?
yeah,
And
he,
like was totally chill with like all the people here, right?
yeah.
That's the story, right?
Yeah, that's what I was taught in school because fucking reality is so much worse.
And then that's why we have Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We celebrate
The
all everything that we
I
took
can't
from.
even say this. I was about to say. I gotta say it though. I was about to say like we had Thanksgiving because the Native Americans were just so thankful for Christopher Columbus and he just had so many good deeds, you know.
I know.
What a good historical figure that we
It,
should
it
look up to.
it goes in level. If we're comparing with tiers, it goes Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Bill Gates,
Elon Musk.
Columbus, Elon Musk, Columbus.
Yeah, I think that's a fair list. Although I would probably
Yeah,
put Christopher Columbus first, given all
yeah,
of his
yeah,
great deeds just
yeah.
surpass Mother
Exactly.
Teresa and Gandhi like tenfold.
Yeah, I know. Literally, the only person compared with him in charitability, I think, is Bezos. Right? Is
Maybe
that
that's a close
maybe?
one.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
close one for sure.
he does. I mean, he gives his employees bathroom breaks. I don't think I've ever heard of generosity like that.
Yep. So about Bambi.
so, um,
Sorry.
prior to the 1500s, prior to colonialization, there were about 44 million, and we're going to talk about the white-tailed deer population just because that's the most abundant, and that's also the breed that Bambi is. Uh, I don't know. Sure, Bambi's still out there. Is fuck it.
The ancestors of Bambi.
Yeah, the ancestors were whitetail also. So there were 44 million white-tailed deer in America. Um, Colonialization happens. Guess how many there are by the year 1900? Peak industrial revolution.
So what's our starting total again?
44 million.
Man, that's already a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it decreased significantly is an understatement. I want you to guess.
So
19.
so it's a decrease from 44 million.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 20 million.
No, lower.
500.
Lower.
No, I'm joking. 1 million.
Lower.
500,000. Close.
Close.
Ah.
There's not an exact number, but it's estimated that it was 300,000 to 500,000
Okay.
by the year 1900.
Dang.
So that's a pretty steep drop from 44 million.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, we could kind of, they were not going. I mean, definitely endangered at that point, right?
Yeah.
That's an endangered species at that point. So, and basically, we all saw The Revenant. Pelts were big business.
Yep.
You know. So
man,
that's kind of.
I wasn't expecting you to talk about The Revenant. I really wanted to plug the director really bad because he's like one of my favorite directors. But
yeah, it's the same guy behind Birdman.
Yeah, Alejandro Inarritu.
Children of Men, also.
I'm not familiar with that one, but I know he did a foreign film also called Beautiful, which is real good.
I should check that out. I'll list it. All right, I'm marking it down. If it's not good, I'm taking it out of your ass.
Well, I mean, it is.
All right, well, I trust you.
I feel.
I guess.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, it's really sad movie, but it's great.
Oh no.
Also,
okay.
Javier Bardem is in it, so how can it be bad?
Oh, no, that's true. Does he have like a bunch of quarters that he's like, fucking call it?
No.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's fine, I guess.
But he acts, and that's cool.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. If he's acting, I mean, you know.
He's only been in. I've only seen him in one. I'm sure he's got a pretty big, like, filmography or whatever, but I think I've only seen him in one bad movie ever. Yeah, and I just kind of want to call it out because, oh man, I can't remember. It was whatever the last Pirates movie was. Have you seen that movie?
The most recent one. Was that the Fountain of Youth or whatever?
Yeah. Wait, maybe
is that right?
Man, all these movies run together. I don't think that one's it. He played. I can't remember.
Wait, no. He played Bootstrap Bill, didn't he?
Let me see.
No, he didn't. I'm wrong.
It's okay.
Who'd he play?
Someone named. I'm looking it up right now as we speak.
Okay.
Real time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's been in so many movies.
Yeah.
Armando Salazar. And the movie was called Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tell No Tales. It's bad. Don't watch it.
I must be thinking of On Stranger Tides. I don't think I saw. I didn't see Dead
Good.
Man Tell No Tales.
You did yourself a service. I did, and like I don't know. I love the characters involved. Like I used to love Pirates, but it's like so obvious that they're just cashing out on that franchise, and like it's just I don't know. Let's get back to deer population because I can harp on the Pirates. I love it.
Deer population is more interesting than Pirates of the Caribbean.
I mean, at this point, yeah. You know, the first three movies I thought were solid, but
yeah, sure, no, the first one definitely.
First one was great. I think the first one's great.
Yeah. Can they even continue without Johnny Depp?
I mean, from what I understand, they plan on creating another Pirates of the Caribbean movie without Johnny Depp, but
no, I understand that they're going to try, but can they succeed? Because I truly feel like without Johnny Depp, they lose, I mean, like half of their audience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after the... I don't want to spoil... I kind of want to spoil... Right. Let's get back on deer stuff, because...
All right. Honestly, maybe we'll revisit Pirates of the Caribbean, because
it's one of the many movie franchises that really frustrate me.
From the sounds of it, I won't mind that you spoil it for me because it doesn't sound like
Oh
anything
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
should be
yeah.
watching it. Okay, so um, so by like the 1890s to the
We're looking
1920s,
at
around
300,000 to 500,000.
uh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So this is peak industrial revolution that's been going on since like the 1700s. Really started ramping up in the 1800s in America and the United Kingdom. Um, the response to that by the 1890s was this very large conservation movement,
Mm-hmm.
and as part of a overall progressive era in both countries. Um, so we have a lot more regulations coming in. Well, this is where we get into where Bambi came from.
Yeah, where Bambi came in and fucked everything up for everyone.
Exactly. We were all having fun, shooting our guns, and this little Bambi, fuck deer comes in here, uh, tell me I can't shoot my gun. I'll be goddamned.
That's also that's too close to current events. I don't know if we can.
Yeah,
we'll
that's
cut
true.
that out in post. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay, so 1923. We're seeing a lot more regulation. At this point, they're uh, they're starting to do more things like they're enacting seasons to hunt certain breeds, etc. 1923 comes around. A German novelist who went by the pseudonym Felix Salten.
Okay.
Well, technically he was Austrian, I believe.
Nah, they're all
Maybe.
the same, right? Nah,
Yeah.
I can't make that joke. That's so rude. Shouldn't say
So, a prominent writer from Austria
Mm-hmm.
penned the original works of Bambi. The original name, and I'm sure I'm gonna fuck this up.
Uh-oh. What was it?
Bambi,
Wow.
ein Lebengästchen aus dem Walde, by Felix Salten.
Yeah, I'll never remember that.
Yeah.
Was it?
Who's at? Huh?
Was it a more like darker story? Or
Oh yeah.
oh really? I'm not
Yeah.
surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So like I love it. Basically the whole time, even in the book, the dad just wanders around the forest being hot shit and basically just leaves Bambi with his mom, and then when his mom dies, Bambi goes in the book Bambi actually goes to like a older deer who like doesn't have any kids anymore or something that takes care of him. Um and I guess the original. So it was in a newspaper. It was a series of stories in a newspaper first, and then it got turned into a book in 1923, published in Austria by a company called Ustin Verlag or Werlag. Sorry, I keep forgetting the VW thing. Not Volkswagen, but the language thing. uh, yeah. So. And this is actually the same guy who wrote the. I'm not even going to try the pronunciation. The Hound of Florence is the English translation,
Oh, okay.
and that was actually inspiration for the Shaggy Dog.
Hmm.
Yeah. So this guy kind of got friendly with Disney later on, but we'll get into that because this is 1923. This guy was in World War I, and
Oh jeez.
World War II is in Austria. Germany is kind of on its way. This is when the party, the Nazi party, was kind of starting to ramp up in the 1920s in Germany.
Yikes.
So this guy writes the book, very well received. It does a republish in 1926. With a U.S. copyright notice, so that he makes sure. So in Germany, when he wrote it, there were no copyright laws like we had in America, apparently. And when he wrote it, like that's it. That's your copyright. You are the original author. That I don't know how that shit wouldn't work today. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I don't even think it worked that way America at the time. So he gets a U.S. copyright notice, and then 2 years later, 1928, the novel is translated by someone named Whitaker Chambers. Translates it to English, and they republish again in America in English through a publishment company named Simon and Schuster.
Okay.
Once again, hailed by critics. I believe they sold like over 75,000 copies in the first year, maybe even month. I don't know. They sold a shit ton of copies. Eventually, they sold like over 650,000. It got since then it's been translated into over 30 languages. The New York Times gave it an amazing review, and it was a hit with the Book of the Month Club, which has been around since 1926. Actually, when the same year it got the U.S. copyright notice. So, just a little factoid for you there. So. It's published in English. It is recognized at that point, and now it is recognized as one of the first environmentalist novels, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it pissed hunters off. That was the important thing.
Yeah.
So it gets published, pisses hunters off who read it. That's 1928.
Mm-hmm.
By the time 1931 is rolling, that is when the Nazi Party has basically taken hold and begun the war. And the author, Sigmund Salzman, is Jewish, and he has to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Makes sense. This
yeah.
checks out.
Yeah. Yeah. So in 1933, he gets help from his publisher, one of his publishers, Max Schuster, and gets help from him to flee to America. And I guess Schuster had some connections with Hollywood at that time, because he introduces Salzman to Sidney Franklin at MGM. Later, in 1933, sells the rights to Sidney Franklin, who wanted to do a live adaptation originally. And they were like, oh, wow, that sounds like a hassle. You know what we should do? Just give it to Disney, because they'll just draw cartoons for it.
Yeah.
And I'll still make my nut. So, 1937, Sidney Franklin sells the rights to Disney.
Yeah, future leader of the world, Disney. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So they got the rights. They're working on it. It kind of gets put on the back burner because they're doing Fantasia at the same time. And the film is finally released in... I think there was originally some limited screenings on August 8th, 1942 is when they began. And RKO Pictures did a full release August 13th. 1942.
Okay.
Comes out in theaters. All the dads are overseas, and moms are working to support, and not a lot of people got time to go to a movie. Is one thing, but the big thing was they had a very limited European market. Mm-hmm. They grossed more internationally actually than they did in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
But still they could only. It wasn't that much more. They grossed like $400,000 more internationally than they did in the U.S. So like they could only release in they could only release in places that were on our side during the war, pretty much. Russia, France, which I don't even know. Actually, I bet they couldn't release in France because occupied. Yeah. So they make their money back, but it doesn't go as well as they hoped. But before the movie even came out, there were a lot of pissed off people, a lot of pissed off hunters and outdoorsmen, things of that nature. Famously, before the movie even came out, the editor of Outdoor Life magazine, Raymond J. Brown, calls for outcry from all his other constituents, other hunting sportsmen and enthusiasts, things like that. Uh, he apparently, before the movie came out, he sent at least one telegram, if not a few, to Walt Disney. And like, this is my favorite part about all this, or one of my favorite parts about this whole story, is that like all the hunters were like, they were just pissed off at like how quote unquote inaccurate Bambi portrayed hunters.
Is there anything
like,
specifically that was inaccurate?
Yes. So like, they were like, I think like, because the hunters come in the winter, and I guess so. Like, Mr. Brown sent Walt Disney a telegram, and apparently it said something to the effect of, "Winter's not even hunting season, dummy."
That was the grievance.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
so
that
silly.
was like all they could find. Like, basically, that was the common thread. It was like, this isn't even accurate. We don't even use that type of gun. No, like, I don't even. It's just stupid stuff like that. So basically, no one answers him. So like, he tried to get RKO to straight up like hold it, and he was like, "Yeah, you guys can't release this, da da da." And RKO obviously said, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah.
But it did spur a movement of other people, other pro hunting media outlets. For example, Field and Stream, Nature Magazine, Sports Field.
Man, this is in the 40s?
Yeah, this
I
is
didn't
in
know we had this many
40s.
magazines in the 40s.
Yeah, I didn't either. In fact, and after that, like, it actually kind of got really big. An initiative, the year I believe after the movie came out, there was an initiative from the Wartime Council to use Bambi as the face of anti-wildfire propaganda. A year later, Bambi was replaced by none other than Smokey the Bear. So
I didn't know this was a Smokey the Bear origin story as well. That's crazy.
I didn't know that either. Hey, I love a good origin story, though. So I mean, Bambi's pretty big at this time. The effect it has is pretty big. I guess also like it. It was like it's the outcry from hunting people was basically similar to like the kind of outcry we see now. Like I said, it's all just like pointless, irrelevant to the argument type shit. So like, I guess people were really mad. They were like, "How dare you traumatize children by killing Bambi's mother? We wouldn't even shoot an antlerless deer or whatever." And I was like, all right, man. So you would have just killed the fucking stag that is
Weird.
So, examples. There were pro-hunting bills that were killed by public opposition. For example, gentleman Alto Leopold was trying to get a bill through in Wisconsin for an antlerless hunting season, and basically everybody just took a shit on him.
Yeah.
So, really supported the anti-hunting movement, and continued to for years. Since the original release, it's been re-released several times. In the 60s, it started to become more prominent, as people had kind of grown up with it in the 40s and 50s.
Mm-hmm.
They showed it to their kids. In 1982, I believe, it became available for rental, VHS rental.
What is a VHS? No, I'm joking.
Well, let me tell you, Timmy. We didn't have all these fancy streaming platforms like, Netloo and Whoflix and what have you. We had videotapes, Timmy.
Yeah, and you know what sucked about those things? The more you use them, the more they degraded over time. That made me so sad, because I would watch, like, I remember having like The Lion King on like VHS, but I would watch it nonstop, and then like, I don't know, it's just sad seeing it degrade.
Well, so that's the thing. By the resurgence of Disney in the late 80s and 90s,
Yeah.
with Michael Eisner, Bambi was a staple to childhood,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, I watched it.
I didn't.
But you didn't?
No, I watched Bambi for the first time, like this week, researching.
What?
Yeah,
Yo.
no, I know. Yeah, dude. That was the kicker. That's what I've been waiting to tell
Well,
you.
we have to do another episode. I actually just recently found out that there's a sequel to Bambi. Did you know that?
Yeah, dude. Came out like 60 years after the original.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
literally
dude.
60 years. I think it was
Yeah.
64 years after the original.
Yeah, it came out in 2006, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I would have been 10 when that came out.
I don't even know.
Or
I don't even know what you can do in a sequel. I'm so curious what it's even about. But yeah.
Mom's Revenge. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Well, I think so. The fucked up part is, Salzman actually wrote a sequel to his book too. It was called
Bambi 2?
Bambi's. No, it's called Bambi's Children, which I
Oh,
don't know. I don't know if that's what Bambi 2 is about or not, but I assume it is.
probably.
Probably. But I mean, hey, since then it's become a staple. Uh, guess what the population is today?
If we're using and we're using that, are we kind of using that 3,500 as like a starting point?
Yeah.
Close to that.
Yeah, so in the early 1900s, that's where we were at. Hunting regulations started, and then like in the 1940s to 50s, there was damn near no hunting.
Yeah. So that means, I mean, it went up. I'm gonna
Yeah,
say. Hold on.
that was the most suspenseful pause I've ever fucking
I'm trying to do my math. Doing the numbers, carrying over the one.
heard. Do you have a formula that
Hmm.
you
I can't
for
give it out. It's
for
a super
deer?
secret formula, but yeah. Um,
Okay, Mr. Krabs.
yeah, it's exactly like Mr. Krabs. Uh, I'm just gonna say I'll start off with 10 million.
Higher.
Man, I thought that was pretty reasonable. 20. I'm just gonna double it. 20.
Closer.
Okay. Up or down?
Up.
22.
More.
24.
25.
Okay,
Estimated.
I was close. Yeah, I was getting there.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
no, we
and
yeah.
but what was that? Is there a like what time frame? Like how long did that happen from like hundreds of
Um.
thousands to like 25 million?
So it went back up to so like by 1950, about 10 years afterwards, it had gone up actually like in the millions again.
Oh man.
Already, yeah. So it was so like by 1950, I think it was about 3 million, 3 to 4 million. Which just goes to show like the absolute direct effect that we had on.
Yeah.
I mean, because well, that's obviously what it is, right? Hunting.
It's like
I mean, just over hunting because deer meat was big business as well as the pelts that you would get from them.
yeah.
Uh,
It was just like, a really influential movie, seen by the masses, in turn affected hunting policy, which in turn affected deer population,
yeah.
which then affected, and we'll just bring it back to when that deer wanted to commit suicide that fateful night, just running into my car. I'm blaming Bambi for it, honestly.
Do you? You know what? Do you know how many deaths are caused by accidents?
You mean deer?
Yes. Do you know how many deaths are caused by deer, like every year?
I do not, but I would guess it is. I'll just throw out like a number like 50. Please
it
tell me
is.
it's lower than that.
It's actually not. It's higher.
Please don't say it's significantly higher.
It is not significantly
Okay,
higher.
because that would be sad.
Apparently, like on average, between 175 and 200
Ugh. I mean,
fatalities and
yeah.
over 10,000 injuries
Oh,
every year.
jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in short, Bambi kills
So I think
175 to 200 people every year.
I think what we really need is like we need another influential movie that does the opposite of what Bambi did, and then we can kind of course correct.
You know what? Maybe that's what Bambi 2 is about.
Maybe that was Disney's attempt to like
Yeah.
recorrect their
Yeah.
like their great evil they brought onto the world.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Apparently-
I mean, Disney's actually pretty comfortable bringing like great evils into the world. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
have the
that-
Star Wars thing that they tried to do.
Yeah.
Well,
Trying to like think.
I
trying to
say
think of
that,
some.
but there's a couple of good nuggets of entertainment that they've done with Star Wars. But the whole
Yeah.
new sequels or whatever, I don't even know what to call them. Fuck 7 through 9. Man, that
Yeah,
was
right.
actually like a blight on humanity. I'm sorry, it made me so mad.
I
Just
I agree. I could have done without it. Honestly, you know what I really liked? Rogue One.
yeah. That's
I
why
thought-
I had to stop myself because like they have done good stuff with Star Wars,
Yeah.
but they're also like doing too much. It's like oversaturating the market with way too much Star Wars stuff. They just know it's a money making machine, and like, you know, even if their stuff sucks, it makes money. So like,
Yeah.
there's some good stuff and there's some bad stuff. I just wish they'd like
Yeah.
relax.
Chill.
Just try and make good products. You know, I'm not saying don't make Star Wars stuff, but like maybe not 3 Star Wars properties a year. Like that'd be cool. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, no, that's not even an exaggeration. We in the past year we've had Obi-Wan, the Book of Boba Fett,
Yeah.
and a new season of Mandalorian, I think.
And wait, what was the time span you said?
In the past year.
We had the new season of Mandalorian was like 2 years ago, but like
Okay.
you know, it
But
got.
still, that's yeah.
Did you say Bad Batch?
No, I'm just counting the amount of Star Wars material.
Yeah,
or
Bad Batch.
Star Wars.
Isn't that a thing? I don't know. There's so much. I
Oh,
can't-
is it? Case in point, right there. Too many to keep up with.
Star Wars Bad Batch.
I
When
thought
that
you were
come
just
out?
saying.
Yeah, it came out in 2021, May the 4th. What a date. So
Fuck it.
I think the summary here, I think pretty easy. Disney's the root of all evil. I think that's pretty
Yes.
concise, straightforward.
Yeah, I don't really see any other lesson to take away from this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless like literally the only other lesson is next time you hit a deer, just be really mad at Bambi and a German guy named Sigmund Salzman.
Yeah.
So that's or just be mad at Disney. You don't even have to have hit a deer. Just fucking be mad at Disney. Fuck it.
True.
Yeah.
They're probably acquiring another company right now as we speak.
I wouldn't doubt it. As a matter of fact, I would expect it.
Yep.
So,
Man.
yeah, no, I was just digging more into the statistics. Apparently, like 1.5 million car crashes involve deer every year.
Jesus.
Yeah. Fuck you, Bambi.
Yeah.
I'm glad your mom died. I'm not gonna say no. So like, apparently that was Walt Disney's daughter's critique. It was that Bambi's mom didn't have to die.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how you respond to that as a father. I don't know how I would respond to that as a father. I would.
He probably didn't care it was making him money, so
That's what I'm saying, right?
like, he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm making like millions of dollars. Who cares? Like, whatever.
I keep critiquing it.
This movie's literally gonna pay for generations, so whatever. Who
Yeah.
gives a shit?
You want to eat, don't you? Shut the fuck up. That's good parenting right there.
Yeah, he was a provider,
He was.
Man.
He was. Yeah. I'm just surprised he was willing to adapt a story from a Jewish person.
Yeah, that actually is pretty weird.
Yeah.
And uncharacteristic for sure.
So, I will say there is speculation. So, the original novel Bambi, by the original author, is said to have been much more metaphorical. It's described as a coming of age story.
Oh.
Much darker, a lot more grim.
Yeah.
Basically, it's this. The story really follows Bambi having to be more comfortable in isolation, which is pretty steep shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And,
Disney has kind of just turned it into a talent of taking like these like really dark tales and like just turn them into like kind of a kids movie,
Yeah.
There's like countless.
I mean, every Grimm Brothers tale they've ever taken. Like,
Yeah.
pick one.
And then like the Lion King,
Yeah. Yeah. And there, I think there are like a few other, because Lion King is just Hamlet. I feel like there was like one or two other Disney films that they just stole. I mean, and like all of them were stolen, but I like Shakespeare specifically.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, George of the Jungle is just that's not Disney, is it? Is it? Yeah, it's Disney. These motherfuckers really did Tarzan and George of the Jungle. I don't know how.
Yeah. It's silly.
I don't know. Well, sorry. What got me on the train of thought, I was like, Jungle to Jungle with Tim Allen. That was Shakespeare, right? At one point.
I forgot that movie existed.
Yeah, I even as a child, I'd never sat through that movie.
Fun fact: the first movie I've ever watched was, oh my gosh, George of the Jungle. That's the first movie I ever watched in a theater.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, mine actually was Tarzan.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah. It was the shit even then. Phil Collins went way too hard. We didn't need all that, but he gave it to us anyway because he loves us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that is that is the story of Bambi. Although there are other, I'm not gonna lie, like the story of Bambi is actually crazy as shit. Like not the story of Bambi, but what happened after Bambi. Like like Whitaker. As I mentioned, Whitaker Chambers was the person who translated the book to English, right? Apparently in 1948, he accused this fucking politician of being a Russian spy, and
Oof.
so like Whitaker was a former member of the Communist Party, and accused a politician by the name of Alger Hiss in 1948 of being a Russian spy, and apparently he was never found guilty of that, but 2 years later, after the statute had been run out and he'd already been tried, he was convicted of perjury in his statements in that original trial. So he technically was not convicted of being a spy, but it don't look good for your boy. And so many other things. Since the original release, Bambi is listed on in AFI as the third greatest animated film of all time. But I believe that is in the classical genre. It's
Oh,
probably probably different than like 3D animated genre or stuff. I would assume, because it's Toy Story, right?
yeah.
That one, yeah.
You got a friend in me.
My Yeah, exactly. And I mean, since its original release in 1942, it's just gained more and more money, re-releases, home video releases, the amount of merch. It warranted a second movie 64 years after the original release, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Um, my favorite, apparently Evil Knievel did art based on Bambi and sold it at one point. My favorite is Kiefer Sutherland said in a Playboy magazine interview
Uh-oh.
that Bambi was his favorite movie and it taught him about, and I quote, sexuality. I don't know how you get that.
That's a problematic statement.
Yeah. So he
I
goes
don't
on
know
to.
where that. Oh, there's more. Okay.
There's more. His favorite, and I quote, had such a crush on Thumper's wife from the ages of 7 to 10.
Okay.
So like,
That's something. I don't.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
We call that, I think, the Lola Bunny complex, right?
sure.
Like, um, I'm not. You know what? I don't want to get into what animated character was most attractive, though. That's not a place where I think we should go.
Not for the Bambi episode, no.
No, not. Yeah, no. So since then, I mean, all kinds of references are made. There's something called the Bambi factor, Bambi syndrome, the Bambi effect, and all of these contribute to anti-hunting sentiment. So that is the full story.
Yeah. Public perception, man, is a very powerful tool to get shit done. And sometimes the shit you get done doesn't, have the best outcomes. Because, those people that, protest all those pro-hunter policies and stuff, like, their intentions were totally good, right? But
Yeah.
they didn't expect, like, 60, 50 years later, that same thing, that they're pushing for would cause literally, like, I hate to say it, like, because, deers are just such chill, calm animals for the most part, but, like, they literally create so much chaos around America, like, it's just too many of them, So, like, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think it got to a point where they actually. So by the 2000s, deer population was actually more like 40 million.
Oh, so we were, like, close to pre-Columbus.
Yeah, actually, yeah. No, we really were. Before the white people showed up.
It's just crazy because, like, it made more sense for them, that many to exist when when the land's not really all that populated. But there's a shit ton of more people here now. A little crowded to have that many deer now.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think is why, a lot of those hunting regulations were stripped to control deer population more, because we started by the 2000s getting toward 40 million, and I mean that's when it was like a fucking problem, because like you said, there are more people now. By the year 2000 we had a lot more roads, and we had used up and continue to use a lot more wooded areas that we destroy and build roads or communities, and I think that's why the deer are suicidal now. They run into your car because we took their home.
Yeah.
That's probably it. I don't know. I can't get inside the mind of a deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bambi.
Moral of the story: fuck Disney.
Yeah.
That's right.
Really,
Um,
that is it.
that is always the moral of the story, I
Just
think.
because they put out a couple good products every day doesn't mean we forget about them and their evil ways. They're trying to take over the world. Don't you forget it.
I mean, they're doing a good fucking
No,
job
I
of it. I'm
know.
not gonna
That's why
lie.
I'm saying
Like,
we need to fight back
yeah, that's right.
with all.
I think, I think you're right. We need our own. Like, if Bambi is the Beatles, we need a Rolling Stones movie to counter Bambi. We need to urge people to kill more. I don't know. If that's gonna like do anything to Disney, but maybe.
Probably not. Disney's
Probably not. Yeah.
realistically, we can't do anything. They have so much capital
Uh,
behind them that like
yeah.
realistically, what could like a even a handful or a bunch of commoner people do to Disney? They literally own the
Yeah.
world. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. It's actually terrifying. I'm sorry. Before you finish that statement, I thought you were gonna be like, literally a handful. I was gonna be like, yo, are you gonna say like a bunch of deer corpses or something? Like, I don't. A sacrifice, I don't think, is the answer.
I mean, desperate times, man.
Yeah, right. Maybe if I kill enough deer, Disney will notice me. Yeah, so now I think it's time for our present segment. Adam, did you get me a present? What movie have you seen lately?
Present, I didn't get you shit, but there's a movie that I've seen that is. The more I think about it, the more confident I feel about this. It like easily cracked my top 10 movies of all time,
Oh, wow.
but yeah. And with that said, I think it's the best movie I've seen in the last 5-10 years or so. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Really?
I'll say 5 years. To 10 years might be pushing it because that's a hard time to like think about. But last 5 years, I'm feeling kind of confident about that. And I hope I'm not overhyping it, but like I don't care. It's really good, and I cried every time I watched. So I don't care. Whatever. It was. It's everything, everywhere, all at once, and it's damn. It's hard to say all the time, but yeah, it's just great. It's just flawless at every single element of like from acting, cinematography to directing. Uh, it's downright perfect. Okay. Uh, yeah. The
Jesus.
theme, I'll admit, a very, very. Hmm. Got it. I'm walking around eggshells here because like I definitely don't want to spoil this movie for anyone. Like I want someone to go in, preferably. I even tell people to stay away from trailers because like, it's pretty clear whoever are making the trailers aren't the same people who like made the movie because I feel like the trailer really does a disservice to the movie. I would say stay away from the fucking trailers. Go in blind and enjoy. Okay,
Wow.
it's a little long. I know people have short attention spans, so that could be a like drawback for some people. But like, I think it's worth it. Great story, great cast. Even though I only knew like there was only like three ish, maybe four like actual like really prominent names. But like every with that said, everyone who participated in this movie was like killed their role. Um,
Mm.
yeah. I I could talk about the movie forever, but I'm really trying my best not to ruin it cuz
Yeah.
it is so damn good.
Well, is it kind of a very intricate plot where if you give anything away, it might like ruin the whole thing? Or...
No, it's not like that. I really value the first experience and the first like that first time of getting the knowledge and stuff of watching that film. I really think kind of helps the viewing experience. So like I just wanted like try to refrain from giving like too many details. I really don't even want to give plot details. I just it is a very beautiful, like very well put together movie. It does a seamless job of going back and forth between genres. At one point, like a major pillar of its plot is like a science fiction element. But it also, so like it has a science fiction element. Um, it has a comedy element, which it's like it's it's really funny. I don't know. I can't. I don't want to get it. It's funny, but then
Okay.
there's like even there's even moments of of like a horror film. You know what I mean? And then it'll just break out into a martial arts film. And like when you hear all that, it feels like wow, this. How can you like
Sounds like Scott Pilgrim versus the world. I'm
a
not gonna
little bit,
lie.
right? I would say there are. It feels similar, but like this movie is like I hate to say it like this because I don't. I love Scott Pilgrim versus the World, but this movie is way more mature in its in the message it's trying to give. But like there is the humor in the movie. There's a I would say there's a common thread sometimes with the humor in Scott Pilgrim and this one for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I just loved it. It's just so good. The themes perfect.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I it's super a with plot element. It can get. I could imagine like if you just gave like an outline of this plot, if you had someone else write it, like it could get really convoluted if not in the right hands. I don't know exactly who wrote it. I think it looks like Daniel Kwan and Daniel Schernert. I don't know how to pronounce
Oh,
his name.
are these the same guys that did Swiss Army Man?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. Let me check.
Cause
That was
I
literally their other only film. They've done two feature films: Swiss
oh
Army Man
wow,
and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
wow, okay, cause I really enjoy the Swiss Army Man. Um, so I assume I will enjoy this. And I hear honestly, what you're saying is literally all I've heard about Everything Everywhere All at Once. That it is just an amazing
Yeah, it's an experience.
film.
I don't know, and like I
Yeah,
really treasure it because it's like an actual original piece of art in film. And honestly, we don't get that shit ever. It's always a sequel, a remake, or some bullshit. So it's
yeah,
real nice, or some formulaic bullshit. Like even
yeah.
some of the best films I've seen this year is like it's even if it's good and well made, it's just like you can't when you have like pre-existing properties you're in a little bit of a box in terms of like what you can do on a creative level. Like another movie I saw that I really enjoyed that I know you didn't enjoy is the Batman, but like even though that movie I consider that movie to be really good, like it's still like I mean fuck how many Batman movies have we had in the last fucking 15 years, you know? Like
Yeah.
relax, give me something new fresh, some like even though I consider it to be really good, like it's like it's the same story. It's like fuck, it's Batman and he's trying to stop the bad guys from messing up Gotham. Like fuck, man. Like you can only get so deep with that, right? So everything, everyone, everywhere, all at once is like a a good
Refreshing.
representation of like just an original piece of art that's really well made. I The studio A24, I fucking love them. They just
Oh god,
consistently
yeah.
put out great movies, great original movies.
Every time.
And
Yeah.
like yeah, there's just everything everything about that movie is like why I love movies. So,
Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, no, I have not seen it yet, but from what I've heard, and honestly, now after hearing how highly you
yeah,
recommend
you
it,
say you're
I'm
going to watch
going
it this
to.
weekend. You're going to watch it this weekend?
Yeah. I am busy right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it this weekend. Next time we convene, I will have watched it, and we'll be able to have a conversation about it. So anyone listening right now, who the fuck am I kidding?
Yeah, everyone's listening right now.
Everyone's listening to us right now. I'm gonna say
We're
this,
super
man.
famous. We are just putting ourselves out on the internet. Therefore,
That's
we're
right.
famous.
I'm gonna say it. I don't care that you broke your elbow. No. Um, um, yeah, everyone listening right now. Next time we're gonna be talking about everything, everywhere, all at once, at least for a little bit. I believe.
I mean, I'll talk. Oh, yeah, and
So we're gonna.
and
Next one might be long.
yeah, but I'll be able to talk about it. We'll give spoiler warnings, but yeah, once I actually get to
Right.
talk about plot stuff, I can talk about that movie for a fucking long time. Okay.
Well, so this is the spoiler warning. This right here. Hey, next time you listen, there are going to be spoilers.
No, I'll give another spoiler warning. I like really care about people's first viewing, so I'm gonna give a secondarily spoiler warning when we actually talk about it, because
That's
going
fair.
in blind I think is super important for that movie.
That's fair. I can respect that. I personally don't. I probably wouldn't give a shit. But
Yeah,
I
because you
mean,
don't like people.
I that's true. But that's not necessarily why I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you hate people. It's fine.
I yes, but that's not what I'm that's not the reason.
Sounds like it's the reason.
It's because I've already given them a warning. I've given them the warning right now, far in advance. They're gonna forget,
Yeah, that's why you give the second
and they're
warning.
gonna be they should remember. That's all I'm saying. I don't have
Man, people are always smoking a dang pot nowadays, man. You can't expect them to remember nothing, okay?
myself included, but like that's not. No, that's. I actually have a full-time job. I can't say that.
I have a full-time job, but I can't say it because I'm in Washington State.
Yeah, I am in North Carolina.
Oh, shit, dude. The feds are coming for you right now.
Yeah, dude, my FBI agent out in the van.
Yeah, we're going to have to end this episode a little early.
Yeah, probably. They're gonna know. I'm not. Honestly, that's the worst part. I could go to work and be like, "Yeah, I just did a podcast. Tell my coworkers go listen to it."
Oof.
And
I don't know if you can anymore.
I still probably could. I'll go back.
Oh,
and be
okay.
like, oh yeah, did you listen to that? And they'll be like, I was going to, but I couldn't. Followed by whatever excuse. I couldn't find it. It wouldn't play for me.
I'm convinced we're about to be super famous. Right?
Yeah.
When we end this episode, I think that's how that works. Like, as soon as we end, like, boom, famous.
Do you think Disney will sponsor us?
Ay. Absolutely not.
I mean, we've unveiled a lot of information this episode. The fact of my THC consumption.
Man, it just remind the idea of Disney sponsoring us really reminds me of a Black Mirror episode. Do you ever watch Black Mirror?
Yes. Are you talking about the episode where like they're all in this like building that they live in, and like the dude just exercises every day with everybody else? And then yes, I think about that episode at least once like every 2 months.
Yeah. So like if they sponsored us, that's how they would use us. You know what I mean? Like we would we wouldn't actually like. They don't want us to actually truly upset, the system, but they want us to give like a more sanitized version of.
Right.
Yeah.
They're gonna come in, and they're gonna make us wear those white fucking gloves to cover up our dirtiness. Same thing they did to Mickey.
Yep.
And Goofy and Donald.
Yeah, many people don't know this. Mickey Mouse was like the first one to protest against the Disney bullshit. Then they threw those gloves on him, man, and he ain't been the same since.
You remember when he was first created? He was like all black and white and just had like pupils. He didn't have like an actual eye. Like it was just a black dots. And then all of a sudden, he's getting color and he's got like full blown eyes and looks completely different. We call that a recast, motherfucker. It happened to Dick York. It'll happen to Mickey too. Not in that order, but
But yeah,
Yeah.
everything,
Um,
everywhere, all at once. Watch that shit and like be happy. I don't know. It's just I don't know. That movie made me so happy, and it made me feel things. And like that's all I ask for my art. If you make me feel, I'll dig it. You know.
yeah.
But for some reason, like Transformers, like 27, that doesn't do it for me. I don't know.
You're not down for Pirates of the Caribbean 6?
Um, no.
Okay.
Like, and that's Pirates
You,
is such a great example because I felt like the Pirates one it was a great example of like original, like an original story, and like I thought like a pretty like solid conclusion for the most part. Like, I guess it did leave it open for a sequel, but like it could have fucking ended after that movie, and we could have never got another Pirates movie. And you know, there were some serviceable sequels in man, I forgot their titles. Pirates 2 and 3. I know At World's
yeah.
End was 3. I thought those were serviceable ending or serviceable sequels, unneeded but still good. Like I had enjoyed them for the most part.
Yeah.
But then there's like, yeah, let's keep going. And I don't know. It's
Yeah. I I really think it should. I really think it should have ended at World's End.
yeah, it's just a great example of like it's kind of the two.
Like,
I think the Pirates franchise is a great example of like the two sides of movies I fucking like. Well, the one side I hate, the other side I like love. Like when it started out like as an original piece of art, and it was like you had no idea what was happening, and the twists and turns were like really cool. And then it just slowly turned into like just we're just gonna
yeah.
will out Jack Sparrow and this like really garbage plot, but you like Jack Sparrow, so you're gonna fucking watch it, and it's like, oh my god, and it's like so frustrating because like people did still watch it, so they feel validated, but like those movies after 3 were really dog shit, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
The only
Honestly,
reason
I
why
think
I watched those movies because I could watch them for free. I worked at the movies at the time. Otherwise, I wouldn't have.
Damn. Damn. Not so straight up would not pay for it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I think someone else bought my ticket to on Stranger Tides, which I did see in the theater because I did like at
You
World's
sure it
End.
wasn't me that got you in for free? I got a lot of people in for free.
It probably
I don't
was.
mind.
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
mind putting
lie.
that out in the public space because that company no longer exists.
Well,
Probably
yeah,
because
you're
of
not-
me, but that's fine.
Oh, that's. I think it was the pandemic, but that's
No, no, no. They
bold
stopped
of
existing
you.
before the pandemic. Yeah. See, I don't know. It was Frank.
Did
I'll
they-
throw him out there. It was Frank Theaters. Yeah, they
Yeah,
stopped
yeah.
existing in. I want to say like 2016.
Is that when they like,
2017?
like quote unquote shut down for renovations and they just never opened back up?
I think that might have happened. All I know is when the
'Cause-
new company came in, they finally renovated and stuff. So
Maybe that's what it was. I don't. No, that's right. That is what happened. They closed down for renovations, and that was actually them like transferring owners.
Yeah.
And they they renovated, opened back up, and then the pandemic happened.
oh, but
That
when the
was-
pandemic happened, Frank Theaters was no longer a thing anymore. It was Paramount something.
Plus.
No, that would be funny. Look, we're gonna.
That's Viacom, isn't it? Or is Viacom CBS?
Man, I can't even find Frank Theaters anymore. I can't even see when it stopped existing.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's fine. Who cares? No one cares.
They're-
Frank Theater
they're-
sucks. It's it's Paragon Theaters now. That's what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah, Paragon.
Yeah.
Paragon is so much. No.
No, I don't know anything. I mean the theater that I used to work at now looks. Have you been there? It's like great actually.
No,
They got like recliner seats. They serve beer. Like it's a whole new building. The bathrooms aren't
Yeah.
absolutely dog shit.
literally all after.
We're giving a whole lot of like
that.
Moore County lore for no reason, but sure.
Yeah, exactly. So far we've narrowed it down that we lived in Moore County, but they have to.
Well, I do not currently live in Moore County.
Nor do I. But I got out of that town.
Yeah, I mean, if you like golf,
and I made something of myself.
if you like golf and old people, it's like a pretty ideal place, I think. But otherwise, probably not.
Yeah, there are horses too.
Oh, sure. I feel like there's better places with horses, but yeah, horses exist in Moore County for sure.
Yeah, that's fair. There's a few ponds.
There's 7 lakes, you know.
There's 7 lakes. They are.
There might be more lakes.
There are definitely 7 though, and those are important.
For sure, there's 7.
They're not the Great Lakes. They're the.
I mean, they're about as good as the Great Lakes, I would say. Yeah. So yeah, okay. Moore County does have a lot going on for it. Yeah.
7. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What else? Is there any other thing? Do we want to do the next segment?
Yeah, I guess so. So next time is that do we switch off for each segment? Do you think? So like I do the first one, then you do the present.
Yeah, I think that works.
And then we just go to the next one. So next time you do the story,
and then you do the present, and then I do the.
Oh, okay.
Future.
I like that. Yeah.
Like boop boop boop.
Let's try that. I dig it. Okay, so that was the present. Now we move to the future.
That was so dramatic for no reason, but yeah.
Yeah, I know.
The future generally is pretty depressing, so I don't know why you would be so happy about it.
Yeah, kind of. Picture like Blade Runner. Like that.
Oh, sorry.
Judge Dredd.
Okay, I was about.
Huh?
I had to stop myself. I was about to go on a like crazy I was about to praise Blade Runner 2049, but
no, it's my time.
Yeah. Wait, does that count?
Huh?
That does.
What?
Can I, for future reference, would Blade Runner 2049 technically be a future movie, even though it already came out?
Is Terminator?
I don't know. Is it? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
No, I think.
Okay, boo.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters.
What about Mad Max?
Again, I don't think it matters if it's about the future. I think it had to have come out already to be in the.
I guess that's fine.
What about Star Wars? It was a long, long time ago, but somehow in the future.
Yeah, no, I think for Star Wars, we would say all the non-Disney movies would fit that bill. If it was created by Disney, we'll just not put it in the future category because it doesn't.
We just don't. Mm-hmm. We don't talk about Disney in a positive way on this podcast. I refuse.
Or ever for me, but
ever, yeah.
They make good stuff every once in a while, but like.
Oh yeah, I have a Disney Plus account.
Yeah, me too. I'm not saying I don't support them.
Also, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I have a rebuttal to something. I have actually like a delayed rebuttal.
Just because they take my money doesn't mean I don't see their evil ways. Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember what we were talking about. Yeah. Okay. It's not that I didn't like the Batman.
I mean, you didn't have good words to say about it.
No, okay, look, just because I had some negative words to say about it doesn't mean...
Yeah, but you didn't have good words, so what are some good words?
That's fair. I probably didn't give you a good impression. Or the impression I gave you was probably that I didn't get a good impression from it. I don't know. However you want to word it.
Yeah, you didn't say anything good about it. Why would I think you liked the movie if you didn't say a good thing?
No, I did specifically say I did enjoy it. It was fun.
But
what I did enjoy, and I did say this to be fair, I'll say it again. I enjoyed that they went a different shade of dark, if that makes sense. Because even So because
Oh,
Batman was what?
you've changed how you said. You didn't say you enjoyed it. You said it was all you did. You just acknowledged that it was like the darkest Batman movie, and then you continue to talk about all the things you didn't like.
Well, like there were certain things that were just didn't impress
No,
me.
that's
I
fine.
guess
I'm
I
just
don't know.
saying you're kind of changing how you were talking about it because you didn't say you enjoyed that it was like the darkest film you ever seen. You said uh, it was just dark. Now let me talk
No,
about
well,
why it's garbage.
okay, well then let me clarify. I did enjoy how dark it was because it definitely is the darkest Batman movie in my mind, and I think they've just progressively gotten darker. Um,
Yeah,
just says from the silly Batman we knew in the '60s to when Tim Burton did his, and it was a much more dark gothic feel, but still kind of silly. And then it just kind of kept getting darker
but
from there,
by the way,
and more
before we go
realistic.
too far into this, what's your future movie? What movie are you
Shit,
excited about in the future?
that's
Because
right.
that's where we're at.
I'm sorry. We're in the future, and I'm stuck in the fucking past. I I have a one I'm really excited about, but I'm gonna save that one from when the trailer. Well, actually, no. By the time we release this episode, the trailer will already have come out.
All
So I'm
right,
gonna
hit me.
say, uh, Halloween Ends.
Oh,
Yeah, I am very excited for that. I'm a huge fan of that franchise. Not That being said, there are several in the franchise that are a piece of shit. Um,
if I'm being
there's
fully transparent here,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. Hit me, hit me, baby.
I've never watched a single Halloween movie in my life.
Are you fucking kidding me? You've never seen any of them?
I I would appreciate your lack of judgment. Thanks.
Sorry. That's fair. I
I
apologize.
literally put
I.
myself out in a vulnerable situation, and your first reaction was judgment. So
You know what? You're right.
thanks.
I'm sorry. I don't want you to
I'll
feel like
never
you
open
can't.
up to you again.
That's what I was about to say. Don't feel like you can't open up to me, Adam. I'm here. I want to hear your, any film trauma you've had. Anything that you want to say in your heart. I want to hear about film.
We'll see.
I don't want to hear anything about your life because I don't care. But
Yeah, that's fair.
that's um
You already have a
no
pretty
I.
bad track record of like judging me, so that makes sense. That's in character.
I Okay, I believe you, although I don't. What does that track record look like? I just don't remember. That's how. Yeah,
Wait, what? Don't
I don't know what that track record looks like. I don't.
the track record that you've created on this first episode?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
we're
yeah.
going by that
Just
track record.
within. Okay, well, I'll have the recording, so I'll go back and listen to.
You'll
how I've
fix it in
been.
post.
I'll make me nicer in post.
Oh man. But yeah, why are you excited about that movie?
I am a huge fan of the franchise. I really love the first two. Those in my mind are the best. But I really enjoy what they've done with the recent ones. I enjoy.
I mean, I love Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Who, by the way, sorry, gotta put this plug in. Jamie Lee
Yeah.
Curtis also starring in Everything Everywhere All at Once. All right, that's all.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I did not know that. That's crazy. Well, cause I didn't know how star-studded a cast.
No, it's not. It's like she's probably the biggest star, I would say,
Oh, okay.
or
Okay.
the biggest or the second biggest star in that movie for sure. But yeah, it's not a whole. Most of the people in that movie are kind of, I think, more foreign actors, so like they don't have like the American exposure. But they definitely like all are like great actors from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may recognize some faces. 'Cause I
You
think
will.
it's
You will recognize some faces, but there's a lot of
I,
like faces I didn't
the
recognize that also just killed it.
there's this actress that was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in that. Yeah. So no, I'm gonna watch it. I'm really looking forward to watching that. Actually, I've heard nothing but good things, so I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, again, it's my time.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
For
you made the link. Well, actually, I'm not gonna lie. I knew what I was doing. I brought up Jamie Lee Curtis just so I could make that connection back to everything everywhere all at once. But that's
I
fine.
see. So this
It
was
was. Yeah. Yeah. No,
manipulation.
it totally was. I'll admit to it.
I that's that's fair. I can respect that. No, I do. I mean, but no, really, love Jamie Lee Curtis. Love the whole franchise. I love that they got her back, and I love that Danny McBride is writing it for some reason.
Does he have a? Has he written anything before? No offense to him. I love him, but
Uh, right? That was the question I asked.
I'm intrigued by that. But
That's
I'm also nervous by that.
well, like no, that's really how I felt about it. Cause I'm like, bro, you're a funny actor, but like I don't know, but like generally those guys are comedic actors are also write well. I don't know about horror scripts.
Can you? I don't want to. I don't want to put you on the spot too much here. Can you give me an
Yeah.
example of one?
Jordan Peele.
Wait, hold on. I think that's a pretty special case. Is there more?
Okay. Through like, you mean like
Comedic actors who became like really good writers? Because I think Jordan Peele is a exceptional case.
I mean, not Seth Rogen.
Oh, I didn't even know he wrote anything.
Oh yeah, no. Most comedic actors write like Adam Sandler writes most of his shit.
That's not a good example. Let's not say that one.
So like, it's not a good example anymore. But back in the old days, I don't know. Me personally, I appreciate his old shit.
Oh, okay.
Happy Gilmore.
I always
Yeah,
think
so-
about Grown Ups. Did he write Grown Ups? If he wrote Grown Ups,
I think he did.
did he write
I
that
don't-
other Jill? What's the movie where he played like the woman or Jack
Jack
and Jill?
and Jill?
I don't know.
He-
It's like I get it. He had some like solid writing things, but like man,
Okay.
those are like
So-
unforgivable sins for me.
He has written before. Apparently, he wrote that movie he was in with Natalie Portman, Your Highness,
Jesus.
which was but he also did a lot of writing on Eastbound and Down.
Okay. Hey. Okay. That's
yeah.
that's solid writing credits. I love that show.
And here's how it all ties together. He wrote a film called The Legacy of a White-tailed Deer Hunter.
Oh no, he didn't. Are you serious?
I'm very fucking serious. 2018. I'm looking
Did you
at
do
it
that
on
on purpose?
IMDb. No.
You did that on purpose. That's solid, man. Good job.
I did not. I'm
You're
not
supposed
you.
to claim that.
I don't manipulate
Just-
Jamie Lee Curtis back into the conversation just so I can plug everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah, you should have just claimed it and kept going, but now you ruined it. You ruined the moment. That's
Fuck it.
fine.
Fuck it. That's fine. I'll claim it. I'll still claim it.
Too late. It's
Okay.
over. You can't edit that out.
He really hasn't done a lot though. So yeah, after that he did
So is this supposed to be like the last
called-
Halloween movie? I know like I get the premise of the movie, right? Like
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to belittle this movie at all or the franchise, but like for the most part it's like a slasher, right? Like
Yeah, for the most part. I mean really that's what it is. It's basically like the OG slasher.
yeah.
Because
Don't get me wrong, I love me a good slasher, but I'm just making like there's not. That's like the basic premise for most of those movies, right? Like, or do they ever throw a wrinkle at you ever? In because there's like a good amount of movies. I know Rob Zombie did a couple. I think I don't know.
Rob Zombie did 2 of his own, which I had an appreciation for. The first one I think came out in 2007. The other one was in 2010, I think. I liked those. It took a much more real, much more gruesome.
I mean, that's Rob Zombie in a nutshell.
Yeah,
he loves doing that.
Yeah, dog. I was gonna say House of a Thousand Corpses, but Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
that fucking Devil's Rejects might be more disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, really though. Yeah. If anyone listening is curious about some really fucked up shit, go watch some Rob Zombie films. Just pick one.
Anyone.
Pick any of them, man. Yeah, no, I appreciated those. Really tried to dive into the psychosis.
Do you know the
of
release
Michael
date
Myers.
for that Halloween movie?
I don't know the release date. I just know the trailer comes out on the 20th, which is.
How are we gonna know when to
days.
watch it if we don't know a release date?
I don't fucking. Hold up. I am looking it up real time. If that helps. And I expect this to be the last one. It's called Halloween Ends.
That's funny.
so like.
Yo, give it 5 years. We'll have another fucking Halloween movie. Don't worry.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. This is like, come on. Don't play that fucking shit, dude. I know you're bullshit. And I know it's not the last one. Yeah, it's the fucking last one. Like, Revenge of the Sith was the last Star Wars movie, bro. Fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah.
October 14th.
Okay.
There you go.
Cool.
I don't know why I'm so mad now. It's because it promises to be the. In my mind, it's Halloween Ends, so like it should be the most climactic Halloween film I've ever seen.
Are you going into this? Are you going in with pretty high expectations?
I am.
Oof.
I know. This goes against your rule.
No, I don't have a rule.
Well, like
it's just if I don't think a movie's gonna be good, I'm gonna go in with low expectations. That's it.
That's fair.
But no, you do expose yourself a lot when you go in with high expectations. I feel like that's the most volatile watching experience when you're going in with high expectations, because it either meets it and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever, or it undershoots it and you like, it feels so much worse when you have high expectations and it just under-delivers. I think a great example of that, and hindsight's 2020, like, I don't know why I had high expectations. This is just the one that popped in my mind. Batman versus Superman. I say high expectations. My high expectation was just I wanted an entertaining comic book movie. And it was just like it was so bad. And like the climax of the movie resolved in like the stupidest way. I don't even mind spoiling this movie. I would not recommend this movie if you haven't seen it. You get Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, which makes no sense. Ugh, man. What was the stupid scene? What was the name? Did you watch that movie?
No, not all of it.
Oh, good on you. It's like 3 hours long, and it should have been like 2 hours. Are you okay? Are you dying? Do we need to wrap it up?
No, I hit my pin. I'm good now.
Whoa! You can't say that. You're in an illegal state. You can't say that.
You don't know what's in the pin.
Stop alluding to that. I'm trying to save you from the feds.
Are you my one call? Like if they bust up in here?
No! I'm across the country. I can't help you.
You're right next to Amazon headquarters. You go in and demand to see Jeffrey Bezos and demand that he buy me a lawyer.
You know what? I'll either do that or I'll hit up Bill Gates' yacht.
No, I don't know where that guy is. Don't do that.
He lives out here too.
Does he?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Right?
Everybody live in Seattle.
Hmm?
Why does everybody live in Seattle?
I mean, it's a pretty cool place.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, there's I don't think that's actually relevant. I just know he definitely owns a couple homes here.
He owns a couple homes, I think, everywhere. He owns like a fuck ton of land in the Midwest, like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
You can just do that when you're one of the richest men in the planet.
Yeah, I'm sure he's wanting some. He's preparing for the collapse of society. That's the only answer.
He's responsible for the collapse of society.
Yeah, kind of. Him and Steve Jobs, I guess.
No, it's a bunch of people, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm probably also to blame. Like, I don't fucking
Nah.
have like several devices that connect to the internet and shit.
Nah.
I am.
Or I think the individual.
I'm a consumer.
This is turning into a
philosophical.
No, I was just gonna say the individual output someone puts has way less effect than like an entire like corporation, which is something they run. So they actually have like way more impact.
That's fair, and because you know what, that's a lot of people as opposed to an individual. So I suppose that's fair. That outweighs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I still feel guilty, but I don't know. I really like the Halloween franchise.
Good. That was good. What you did there.
Honestly, like.
That was a smooth transition.
Thank you.
Not. What was I about to say? I forgot.
Not at all awkward, or.
No, not awkward. Who cares?
Abrupt.
Let's stop talking about what I was gonna say. That Halloween franchise that I have yet to watch a single movie of.
I'm not gonna lie, the last one I was really impressed with by the end.
Oh, I believe it. No, I'm not. This isn't like, because I haven't watched it, isn't like me trying to say I think the series sucks or anything. It's just there's a lot of movies that exist, okay, and it's you can't get to all of them. It's more so that case than anything.
Yeah. That's fair. You know what? How about we're kind of get close to the end here. So I'm gonna give you a little spiel on Halloween. If you've never seen a single one, I'm gonna give you a little spiel, and then we'll call it. And then next week, I'm going to tell you everything I think about. It'll either be the Batman or Everything Everywhere All at Once. I've already seen the Batman. I haven't.
I mean, I could talk about both movies for like actually forever, so that's fine.
That's fair. Coincidentally, Paul Dano, who plays the Riddler, was in Swiss Army Man.
Yeah, I love Paul Dano.
I fucking love Paul Dano. He is one of my favorite actors. He did an amazing job in the Batman.
He also played in another one of my favorite movies that was actually a more original piece of work. When did it come out? I want to say 2014, but I'm not certain about this. Prisoners. Have you ever seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
Oh man,
that
movie is fucking intense. Oh my god, it's got Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, Paul Dano, Melissa Leo. Oh my god, I'm pretty sure I didn't say her name right, but.
It's like everybody's in it.
It's a really good like crime thriller type movie, and like it's really intense. Paul Dano, sorry, got me talking.
What's
about
it called? Prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll check it out. I gotta add it to the list. I gotta watch Everything Everywhere All at Once first. I feel like this is good. I feel like I don't watch enough movies these days lately.
Yeah,
so
I think you can watch it on
list
Hulu.
Is just gonna get really big. Did you ever see Love and Mercy?
I did not.
Really good. I really enjoyed that. Pretty much a biopic, whatever the fuck you want to pronounce it.
Biopic.
He was in a great biopic of Brian Wilson, singer, songwriter, founding member of the Beach Boys.
Good vibrations, my man.
Good vibrations, or if you're schizophrenic like he is, bad vibrations.
Hey, he's schizophrenic?
I think that's what he has.
He rough,
he has a mental illness that he required treatment for. I believe he's schizophrenic, some kind of acute anxiety, paranoia,
Jeez.
something like that.
That's rough.
But yeah, Paul Dano plays Brian Wilson, does a great job. Elizabeth Banks does a great job. Paul Giamatti,
Yeah, all those
great
people. I
job.
love all of them.
Great job, great
I
job.
love all those actors.
He was brilliant in Big Fat Liar.
That wouldn't have been the first movie I thought of. Not sure.
There was something artful about his performance as a blue Oompa Loompa.
Nah, the role I think he really killed it was in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 as Rhino. That was a role that he really spread his wings and showed the world that he was a great actor. Paul Giamatti. What an actor.
Greatest artist of all our time.
Does anyone even remember those Amazing Spider-Man movies? Like, I feel like...
I fucking love them, bro. I went to see them by myself because Spider-Man was my favorite superhero when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I really fucking hate it because, like, in the early 2000s, that shit made you a nerd, but now it just means you like Zendaya and you like Euphoria.
Yeah, you can just... I mean, it's a good thing, though.
Yeah.
We don't want kids to be picked on for liking comic books.
It's good. It's good. I just have resentment because I'm a bitter asshole. But no, that is good. That's exactly what, child me would have wanted.
Yeah.
For, superheroes to be the thing. And a lot of those movies, a lot of those stories of those superheroes I really enjoy. I really enjoyed the first Amazing Spider-Man. And the fucking second one was garbage.
I was curious what you thought about the second one. I wasn't going to say anything.
It was atrocious, and I think people did good jobs in those films.
But like,
and then you know what? I was talking to a friend about this. Her and I agreed that there's really no such thing as a bad movie. Because I
don't understand.
Well,
this.
Because I can find something good in every.
I doubt it.
In Spider-Man 2, great production value, great visuals.
I got a movie for you, and I don't think you can find a good thing about it. Are you ready?
All right.
Or maybe you've seen it, and then you can just hit me with it. Movie
okay.
43. Have you seen it?
Yes.
All right. Give me one good thing about that movie.
Most movies, I can find something good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just... Bad movies exist.
Yeah. That's
Movie
fair.
43 is dog shit. Actually,
I was going to say, it made me laugh at times, but it didn't, actually. I don't remember.
No, I watched that whole movie, and I didn't laugh fucking... I know... I'm not trying to sit here and say if you laughed at it, like, at all, like, you suck. Yeah. But for me, personally, I fucking laughed once in that whole fucking movie runtime. I've never been so frustrated with a movie in my fucking life. That movie just, like, makes me irrationally angry. Like, holy shit.
Oh, my God.
Sorry.
No, you're right. I watched it. Actually, somewhat recently. It was only like a year or two ago for the first time. And I was already very into film and film theory at this point, so I'm not saying I have the best and most accurate critiques of films, but I feel comfortable critiquing a film, just as I'm sure you do.
Yeah, it's good or it's bad.
Yeah, and see, that's a whole other conversation, because, like, what makes you a good critic? Like, what defines you as a critic? And it really is just,
see, we're using very subjective words, and honestly, it's determined by whoever the person is, honestly.
Yeah,
what makes a good critic for someone won't, necessarily be the case for someone else.
Yeah. Yeah. No, really, though. I mean, and that's the thing, right? It's like, it's literally just personal preference. If you like a movie or not. Well, because that's the thing, man. Bambi, for example, opened up to really not good reviews, and yet here we are. It is a staple.
Yeah.
I think back in the 50s, what was it? The Raven, or the Ravens, or the Birds. What was the Alfred Hitchcock movie? The Birds. Yeah, The Birds. Yeah, that was up for an Oscar, and it got beaten by some movie I don't even remember the name to. I've heard it several times, and I still don't remember the name because it was a totally forgettable movie.
Yeah.
But here we are. You know what the birds are. Apparently, I don't. I just keep rolling with the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it 100.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about the Academy. I kind of pay attention just because I just want to know who got the accolades, but
yeah, that's really what it's become.
But the Academy sucks, dick. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. No one watches that shit anymore. Literally.
Unless Will Smith is slapping Chris Rock.
That's what I was about to say. Something's gonna happen for motherfuckers to watch. Apparently, I feel because a year or two ago, they tried to get Glenn Close to do the butt from the Spike Lee film School Days.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was pretty weird. She knew and they tried to play it off like she just knew what the butt was, and she just knew who would put out the song. I don't know. I'm getting off topic. It was I hate the Oscars. I used to fantasize about winning an Oscar and throwing it back in the crowd in the direction of whoever I liked the least. Which is very weird to have as a fantasy, to be fair. But yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's weird to an extent. There's no such thing as normal.
Yeah, also true. But yeah, first two Halloweens are really good. And they progressively got worse. The third Halloween doesn't even have Michael Myers in it. It has nothing to do with him.
Wait, I don't understand. They just chill out and hang out? What happened?
No. This story has nothing to do with Michael Myers or Haddonfield,
There's just
Illinois.
another random killer person?
No, it's in different. I think it revolves around this TV station that's hypnotizing people. It's alien, ends up being aliens or some shit.
Oof.
And then the fourth Halloween is Michael Myers again.
Oh man.
And forever onward, it's just him killing people, and they're not they just get worse and worse until Rob Zombie does his. And I think the ones that came out recently are pretty good. I don't want to spoil it for you. The last one that came out. But
did you say that just to spoil it? Why'd you say that?
No, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna say that the final scene. The final scene in Halloween Kills was so awaited and satisfying, because it is something that
You're trying so hard to spoil this.
No, I'm not. I'm really not, and I don't think I will spoil it with my choice of words here. The climax to that movie was something every fan of the franchise has wanted and suggested and been waiting for probably decades, and I'm so glad they finally did it, and it played out very well. I'm not gonna say whether it played out as I thought it would or not, but it played out very well. The script is very well written. It really. The problem, what I will say, that one specifically was for fans of the franchise.
Yeah, fan service.
That's not one you should start with.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but because it brings all these old characters back, So if I were you, I would definitely go watch at least the first two.
No, I mean, it sounds like you need to watch the first three. That
No,
third one
just
sounds interesting.
you just skip the third one. That's the thing. As objectively, it's not a terrible movie. It's weird.
Wait, hold up.
And
How can you hold on? I gotta stop you.
yeah.
How can you talk about art and then say objectively?
Well, I'm sorry. No, you know what? Fair enough. Let me rephrase that. Not objectively, but in away from the context of it being part of the Halloween franchise, it's not a bad movie. It's just, but because it was part of the Halloween franchise, it was just
In
really
comparison,
out of pocket.
it felt not as good.
Well, it was weird because it was like, yo, we've been following these characters in this story for like 2 movies, and now you're just gonna
Literally flipping the script.
like, yeah, like it's not even the same script. This is not the same thing at all. So watch. You know what? Watch that one first, just to so you don't have anything to compare it to, and let me know how that goes, because that's probably the way to do that.
So you want me to do 3, 1, 2?
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna Tarantino this shit. All right, you need to do that shit out of sequence. Watch the third one.
The only difference is it doesn't matter too much because it sounds like the 3 is so disconnected from
Yeah,
everything
no,
else. At least with a
it's true.
Quentin Tarantino thing, even though it's out of order, by the end of it, there's this nice cohesive story.
Yeah.
3's just gonna
Very
feel out
fair.
of place.
Yeah. All right, let's fucking Andy Warhol this shit. If that's better for your, for your purposes. Just make it weird. No. No, but yeah. Watch the third one whenever. But yeah, watch the first two, and then you go to 4, 5, 6, blah 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 blah. The ones that Rob Zombie did is not like a total remake, but they're basically remakes.
Yeah. I know nothing about it at all, so.
I recommend it. I'm just a fan of the franchise, so yeah. That is what I'm looking forward to in the future.
Yay.
Yeah. So that was it. Thank you all for joining us. We will definitely post all our resources where I got all the information for today's past presentation. So if you want to go back and dig deeper into the story of Bambi for yourself, you can. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We really appreciate anyone who's stuck it out this far and listened to all of our rambling. And
Why are you still here? I don't understand, but sure.
yeah, right. I would have.
I'm sure there's
I
like
would've
so
left.
many other more productive things you could have done, but that's fine.
Yeah, I would have left when we started, like, just shitting on Disney.
I probably would have kept listening honestly at that point, but
Well,
that's just
no,
me.
so, like,
I'm biased
Yeah. No,
against
I
Disney.
understand. Specifically, the part where I said that we would sacrifice a herd of deer and leave it at their offices.
Yeah, we'll just edit that out though. Yeah.
I gotta probably edit this part out where I refer to it, allude.
Yeah, we'll fix that in post. Don't worry.
Yeah, like will make me nicer. In post. There, we can. I can make you out to be the bad guy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm used to it. I don't know if you noticed, I actually played a bad guy in a movie once, so.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. If you're referring to the movie you and I did together, you were not the bad guy. I don't
I'm a
think.
bad guy.
I don't.
Billie
I don't
Eilish
think so.
made a song about me. That song was about me. A lot of people don't know that.
You and I.
Because I didn't want to bring this up because we had other stuff to talk about. But like I'm a really, really good actor, and like my work
Yeah.
influences many, so.
Yeah. Um, life imitates art.
Yeah.
Life imitates you.
Yeah.
Or Billie Eilish imitates. No, well, I don't know. Whatever. All right, man. Well, cool. Thanks for joining. It was fun. Looking forward to next week.
I don't know if I would go that far, but yeah.
Oh, okay. I am. I mean, you don't. I understand if you're not, but I am.
I'm too cool for school, bro.
I'm not. I just want friends.
Fair. Well, all right, bro. I'll see you.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll see you later.